Could you tell us one or two really cool miracle stories to kind of,
Goodness,
in on your favorites of all?
My favorites. Wow. Well, we had a gal that was missing, or her eye was shot out with a BB gun,
Mm-hmm.
and she had the front of her eye was from a cadaver, a dead person.
Mm-hmm.
So they sewed that on. They filled the eyeball with silicone to make it round in shape. They put on the center of her eye a blacked out contact lens with an X in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Put it there so that at a distance she would look normal, not look
Mhm.
freakish. They put the X in the middle so that if there was ever medical emergency, she was unconscious, the doctors could look and see that it's not a real eye.
Mm-hmm.
She went through a fire tunnel, one of those impartation
Right.
times back in Minneapolis. She came through one of those. We were praying for people to release impartation
Mm-hmm.
for healing, anointing. And she went through. By the time she got to the other end, she had a brand new eye. The Lord literally gave her a new eye. They examined her to see. She went back to the doctor in the university that helped with the surgery, and they could find no sign that she'd ever had any kind of surgery before.
Mm-hmm.
We've had a whole bunch of people in the last couple of months that have had metal in their body just disappear. Plates and screws and things like
Mm-hmm.
plates in the neck, that keeps them from turning and have them just disappear with their full movement and motion. Rods in the spine that keep them from bending over and touching their toes, and
Mm-hmm.
screws and bolts, that you can feel from the outside that
Yeah.
you can't feel anymore.
Wow.
So we've had a lot of those. We've had a number of babies in the womb that were diagnosed Down syndrome that the Lord healed. We've had some resurrections. Some of our students came out of accident with one fatality, a bunch of injured people. A nurse was attending to the injured, and the one fatality was a dead baby.
Mm-hmm.
And they went over and prayed over the child. Baby rose from the dead, gave it to the mother, and the mother got saved.
I bet.
Yeah, it's a good idea. Yeah. So there's a lot of these. I'll tell you. I was in a conference up in where was it? North Dakota, I think it was. I was there with Bobby Connor. He was a dear friend of ours, and we had leukemia was healed that week, and actually doctors report they were examined that week. The blood count had returned to normal. But my favorite miracle was a woman had a broken finger, little finger. She broke it many years ago, and it was crooked.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I can tell you the cancer's disappearing, the blind eye's opening. The tumors just disappearing, deformed bones in a feet that you can feel with your hand, and then it just dissolves.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, extraordinary things. But this one represents something for me that's really dear to me. This little finger was crooked. Now, she had all movement, and she had no pain.
Mm-hmm.
So why would God heal that?
Mm-hmm.
I expect him to heal the leukemia.
Right.
That's life-threatening.
Right.
That's got to be done. But why would he heal a crooked, broken finger? That tells me more. He did. He straightened the finger out. Why? It's because if it matters to you, it matters to him.
Mm-hmm.
And that tells me more. I expect him to heal the leukemia. I expect the brain tumor.
Right.
But when he straightened that finger out, it told me more about our Father than all the cancers I've seen healed.
Mm-hmm.
We had a guy who ate bad food. The worms ended up in his brain, created nests in his brain. They were able through treatment to kill the nests, but the nests had to kill the worms now. He was in torment. He walked into the room. They let him in like a zombie.
Mm-hmm.
He was so heavily medicated. He had a short time to live.
Mm-hmm.
The nest had crystallized in the brain. The pain was unbelievable.
I bet.
And they walked him into the room, just literally a zombie. Began to pray for him, and you could feel the thing lift off.
Huh.
Now there was no immediate change that you could see,
Mm-hmm.
but you could feel it lift off because it was a spirit. It had its root in a spirit. You could feel it lift off. I said, "You felt it leave, didn't you? You felt that shift?" He said, "I did." So here he is. He's just heavily drugged. Within, I don't know exactly how many days, within just a few days, he's absolutely 100% all the way back to normal. Obviously not going to die because the crystallized nests that were in the brain the Lord had just removed, simply just had removed.
Wow.
Extraordinary miracle. And there's just a lot of them. We've had several weeks in a row now, I think 5 in a row, we're in our healing rooms. We've had blind eyes open. Over 200 cases of deafness healed in the last year in the healing room. So there's a lot of these things, but the little finger, that's what I remember. It's because it didn't need to happen.
Yeah.
But he did. He just literally reset the bone, put it back into place, just because it mattered to her.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I would like to recommend that if you'd like to hear Bill talk, you can go on to ibethel.org and free podcast every week.
Every week, yep. We've got the Bethel TV thing now too, so that people can watch
and
services
Global Legacy for Leaders.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Bless you.
Thanks.
Yeah.